Yeah, I know. Smith has not proven he's better than Waddle in any time when they've ever been healthy. Okay? He's never, anytime I've ever watched those two guys on the field, that's why he got drafted ahead of them. The guys that are in the game today, that are those top 5 guys, are some of the best athletes I've ever seen play in the game. Just delusional if you think AJ's better than Stephon. Just delusional. And right. And Xander's right. Watch this. It's not really a knock on AJ. It's not a knock. That guy's exceptional. This kid, Jamar Chase in Cincinnati, is exceptional. Devontae Adams. Dude. Hey, but watch this. If it came off that I was dogging AJ, I apologize because I don't, because I like the kid. That's not what I'm saying here or doing here. Yeah, okay. Your tight end's better. Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that. Actually, I think that's incorrect. The Buffalo Bills they were a very good pressure and sack team last year. The Eagles were pathetic. Are you talking about your paper champion defense right now, or the ones that you have produced? Oh, that's right. I forgot. See, you're talking paper champion stuff. They've actually gone out and been one of the better sacking teams from a year ago and pressure teams. Okay? You're talking paper champion stuff. All right, let me move on to this other topic here. Who saves his job? I don't know if that's a good way to put this. Because you could also say this. Who has a better season in 2022, Tagovailoa or Jalen? Tight end's good in Miami. You got Jaylen Waddle. You got Tyreek Hill. You got a pretty good offense. You got a lot of good things going on in Miami right now, man, offensively. I mean, I would even make this. Who do you think's got a better wide receiving core? Jalen Hurts or Tagovailoa? I think Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa, no? Or a push. I'd be comfortable with a push. Tight end's probably the differential, and that slides it to the Eagles. Hurts has a better the Dolphins. Dude, Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle. Jaylen Waddle had 1,100 yards last year and 104 catches with a cast of characters playing quarterback for him. He still put the numbers up. Jalen couldn't find DeVonta. And that's all they had last year. That's all they had last year in Miami was Jaylen Waddle. And by the way, for the record, and don't take this harsh or don't take this in any other way, Jaylen Waddle was drafted ahead of DeVonta. And Jaylen Waddle was always the guy at Alabama that had the higher grade on him than DeVonta. It's not a rip, it's a fact. The higher grade was on Waddle. Waddle was the number one option in Alabama before he got hurt. Xander, was it the LSU game? And then DeVonta just took off. By the way, it's like this close between him and the other guy. We're not talking like a canyon. Okay? He had 94 more yards than Smith with 40 more catches. 40 more catches is quite a bit. Yeah, and look who his quarterback was. Jacoby Brissett and who else? Tua a couple times. They were in and out of the lineup. Jesus, criminy. Use some common sense and brains. I mean, Jaylen Waddle had a hell of a season with all the chaos going on in Miami with the owner and the head coach. The head coach was being offered bribes, allegedly. Jalen's going to win more games. One, because he's in the NFC. But two, is going to put up some yards if this kid can stay healthy. If Tagovailoa can stay healthy, he might put up 4,000 yards this year with that wide receiving and tight end that they have. Yes, Sydney, I think one of the improvements that the Dolphins have is their defense. I think they're pretty good. Smith is better than Waddle. He hasn't proven that at all in any other time that they've been healthy together. He's never proven that. When they've been both healthy on the field, DeVonta Smith has never proven he was better, even when they were teammates, that he was a better player. Where are you getting that from? Because he won the Heisman? Heisman. Because the Heisman's a real gauge on player success in the NFL. Sign Johnny Manziel. Now, Richard, that could... Injury prone is more where I would go. I don't think Tua is soft. I think he's injury prone. Yeah, I know. Smith has not proven he's better than Waddle in any time when they've ever been healthy. Okay? He's never, anytime I've ever watched those two guys on the field, that's why he got drafted ahead of him. Got drafted ahead of him. Okay? Yeah, well, again, the NFL evaluators, when Bledsoe and all the teams were looking at putting him in a draft chart, Waddle went first. Waddle went first. Let's be honest. The threshold between Waddle and Smith, fair. I said that, though. It totally is. Again, it's like AJ and Stephon. Not really shit-talking here. You're taking it that way. And I'm hoping if it's landing that way, I don't want it to. Dude, I told you DeVonta Smith on a different football team is a guy who's going to put up enormous yardage with a true passer. In this offense, he's never going to. Maybe 1,050, 70, 80 catches, 10 touchdowns, shit like that. He's never going to be a 100-catch guy in this offense. Why would you take that offensive running attack away? They've got a balanced attack. You know how many teams don't? Half the league, maybe even a third of the league doesn't have the ability to run the ball the way the Eagles can run the ball. Smitty's going to be better than AJ soon? I don't think that's a big leap for him. You're talking two elite guys again, but I think, he's a better route runner. He's technically sound more so than AJ is, because AJ relies on true athleticism and his size. Hey, Big Sills, you are a big hater. On who? Who? Who am I hating on? I'm not hating on anybody. You see, the thing in the NFL, there's players that are ranked ahead of you. This guy's better than this guy. That guy's better than this guy. That's why the NFL players vote on the top 100 players in the league. And it's not media driven. I think this guy's better. Do you know who the NFL players think the best player in the NFL is right now? It's either Aaron Rodgers or Aaron Donald. The media can tell you all you want about who they think it is. Tom Brady here, this and that guy over here. It's Donald and it's Rodgers. They're the two best players in the NFL. And you're not going to like to hear that. But it's facts. Guy's a two-time most valuable player. He's played 17 years and he doesn't have 100 interceptions. He's got 450 touchdowns. He's won 40 games in the last 3 years. Come on, man. Well, if Diggs is not a top 25 player, A.J. Brown's not a top 70 player. The 100 is fraudulent. Of course it is. I think Diggs is a bit overrated. Do you? Really? Yeah, okay. By the way, real quick here. Hey, man, this just in. It's August 23rd. NovaCare Center. I know you watched the show. What are you going to do on special teams? How can you be a football organization and not address this? I mean, really? They have the worst unit in the league. How can you be so good at building your defense, building your offense up, and have the worst special teams? It's going to cost you in the end. Remember I said this on August 23rd. You're going to be in a game you're winning. Muff punt, something like that, because you didn't put an emphasis on it. You didn't put an emphasis on this. They're going to put these dudes together. They're going to put a team together. Hey, why don't you have a Jeff Stoutland coaching your special teams? I mean, why don't you go out and find the best assistant coach who's the best special teams guy on the planet? You know, John Harbaugh was a special teams guy. No coincidence that his special teams are some of the best in the sport, and he wins games with that team. I mean, the Eagles have the worst unit in the league. Dan, what do you think of Pascal over Watkins? I think both those guys are making the team. I think it's coming down between Kane and Rager. So how about Kane? Watch this. Let me show you how effed up it is in Philly when it comes to Jalen Rager. Kane has put the work in to make the Eagles. Rager is living off of who he is, a first rounder. And they'll keep the first rounder. That's not a winning formula. They keep players like Derek Barnett on that roster because of who they are, not what they've done or what they're capable of doing. There's an equity problem with some of these guys that how he drafts. He doesn't play the best players. He doesn't. There's a prime example of 2 roster spots that should be given to someone else and not those 2 guys. People are saying they're going to trade Rager. For what? He doesn't have any value. The only reason that Howie Roseman thinks that Jalen Rager has value is because he drafted him number 1. And then when we found out what other teams thought of Baker Mayfield, what did the Panthers trade for Baker Mayfield? A 6th rounder? And he was the number 1 player taken. The Browns were probably floored when there were no takers for Baker Mayfield, who was the number 1 pick. The number 1 pick at a valued position like quarterback. You couldn't get any more than a 6th rounder? And you guys think you're going to get a 4th rounder for Jalen Rager? Why? Because he was drafted in the 1st round? Let me spell it out for you. B-U-S-T. He's a bust. You don't trade assets away for non-football players. And yet he has a roster spot as of at least today. We'll see if he makes the 53. He doesn't deserve it. Okay? Hey, trade Rager for a bottle of stateside vodka. I don't believe stateside vodka would make that deal. I don't. I like the kid Kane. I think the kid's pretty good, man. All right, hour 2 coming up here. We got Yeah, here, let me see here. Don't forget, we got Merrill Reese. Okay. Xander says this, I'm a Rager fan. Bounce back season incoming. Okay. You're 4. I sure hope so. This guy's on a GI plan. This guy's on a GI bill. I mean, whoa. Oh, okay. 3rd year. Oh, forgot, man. I couldn't keep my years correct on him. Oh, man. Oh, man. Hey, Merrill Reese, 4:30 Eastern time. Please hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.